Welcome to my channel, where I share some of the most spine-chilling and terrifying stories with you. Today's story is a creepypasta horror tale titled The Vengeful Ghost of a Murdered Daughter. It's a haunting story that will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end. In this story, a girl goes missing and her parents receive a call from her older self 15 years later. But things take a dark turn when they realize that they had killed their daughter that very same night years ago. The story is full of suspense, mystery, and revenge as the vengeful ghost of the daughter seeks justice for the life that was taken away from her. So sit back, relax, and get ready to experience the bone-chilling horror of this story. If you enjoy this content, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more creepypasta like horror stories. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Sarah, and I'm a ghost that haunts my parents, that seeks revenge for the crime they committed, the crime that ended my life. My parents were not the best parents in the world. They were strict and controlling, always telling me what to do, telling me things like I should stay in a child's place. They had high expectations for me, and when I didn't meet them, they were quick to criticize and punish me. Growing up, I felt suffocated by their constant presence. They never let me go out with friends or do anything that they deemed dangerous. They wanted me to focus on my studies and become a successful lawyer, doctor, or engineer, but I rebelled against their expectations. I wanted to explore the world, to have adventures, to make mistakes and learn from them. I wanted to live my life on my terms, not theirs. That's why I snuck out that night, to meet some friends and have a good time. I knew it was risky, but I didn't care. I was tired of living in a cage, of being a puppet in their hands. Little did I know that my rebellion would lead to my death. Little did I know that my parents were capable of such brutality. But I guess I should have known. They had always been cold and distant, never showing any affection or love towards me. They saw me as a burden, as an obstacle to their success. They wanted a perfect daughter, one who would make them proud, one who would never cause them any trouble. And when I didn't fit that mold, they decided to get rid of me. They decided to end my life, to erase me from existence. But they couldn't erase me from their conscience. They couldn't erase the guilt and shame that haunted them every day, every night. They couldn't erase the fact that they were murderers, that they had taken away their own daughter's life. 15 years had passed since that fateful night, and my parents had tried to move on. They had tried to forget, to bury their past, to pretend that everything was normal. But then the phone rang. It was late at night, and my parents were watching TV in the living room. They were hesitant to answer it. They knew it could only be one of two things: a cruel prank or a nightmare come to life. But they couldn't resist the temptation. They picked up the phone, holding their breath, waiting for the voice on the other end. And then they heard it. My voice. But it wasn't the voice of the girl they remembered. It was the voice of a woman, a mature voice. A voice that had seen things and experienced things that they couldn't even imagine. "Mom, Dad, is that you?" the voice said hesitantly. My parents froze. They didn't know what to say, what to do. They were caught in a moment of disbelief, of shock, of terror. "Who is this?" my father finally managed to ask, his voice trembling. "It's me, your daughter who you killed 15 years ago," the voice said coldly. My parents gasped. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. They couldn't believe that I was still alive, still haunting them, still seeking revenge. Please don't hurt us," Mother begged, her voice breaking. "Why not? You didn't hesitate to hurt me. You didn't hesitate to end my life," the voice said with a hint of anger. I'm sorry. We're sorry. We regret what we did. We were wrong. We should have been better parents, my father said pleadingly. But it was too late for apologies. It was too late for remorse. I had already made up my mind. You should have thought of that before you killed me, I said, my voice colder than ever. There was a moment of silence as my parents waited for what would come next. They knew that I was capable of anything, of haunting them for the rest of their lives, of making them suffer like I did. But then the line went dead. The voice was gone, and my parents were left alone in the dark with their guilt and fear. They didn't know what would happen next. They didn't know if I would come back, if I would haunt them forever, if I would make them pay for their sins. But they knew one thing for sure. They could never escape their past. They could never forget what they had done, what they had become. And so they spent the rest of their lives in fear, in remorse, in shame. They never forgot me, their daughter who they killed that dark night years ago. They never forgot the price they paid for their actions, for their sins. And as for me, I continued to haunt them, to remind them of what they had done, to seek revenge for the life they took away from me. I was a ghost, a vengeful ghost, a ghost that would never rest until justice was served.